everybody. I'm Starla.
I'm Mik.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Yeah.
And welcome to our preview of Terraternity, designed by Udo Neumann and published by Mitch Games.
Now, family, this is a Kickstarter that's coming online. So we want to tell you, do your research, look into it, see if you'll like it, because don't take our word for it. Check it out, because this is a prototype we're playing with, and things are going to change.
Yes.
Rules, components, everything's going to change. So I just want to let you know that. All right. Now, this is a very cool game because it's doing something that we need to be doing anyway on this planet, and that's basically dealing with climate change.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the theme is baked into this game, left, right, and center. But Starla is going to tell us a little bit more about the game overview and gameplay. Here we go.
Terraternity is a strategic Euro-style game of combating climate change for 2 to 4 players with a playtime of 90 to 100 minutes and a touch of dexterity. Your goal is to develop renewable power plants in various countries to make them carbon neutral. You will first need to activate a country, which lets you build renewable power plants within it, but adding its CO2 output to the Terraternity globe. You'll need to make sure this globe stays balanced. Too many CO2 cubes and you risk a climate disaster, while also balancing that country's CO2 footprint. Successfully balance enough countries before time runs out or a disaster strikes and you win. Terraternity takes place over a series of years and you will each take 1 turn per year. Your turn is broken down into several phases. Once you are finished, the player on your left takes their turn until it comes back to the start player. Then the year is over. So that's kind of how you play the game.
Yeah.
You know, I know that some of the rules, they're going to change a little bit probably because they were unclear in some ways, but in other ways you really get it because it's so baked into the theme of climate change.
And it's really, they have it where you have to really make these countries carbon neutral. You have 2 modes to play. You either do competitive, which we gonna do, and you also have cooperative, where in the competitive you got to be the first person to get 5 countries carbon neutral.
To neutralize.
Or when you're in the co-op, you got to have 8 countries altogether that are carbon neutral.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, you have some bad things that can happen. Because the real interesting thing is the dexterity part that they throw into this, which is really interesting, where you have to put the carbon, the CO2 that is really bad. And whatever you do, if you're trying to build, the really cool, energy saving, factories that you're doing, like the wind farms, the wind turbines, or the solar powered, it still produces CO2. And then it shows that in the game that even if you're building stuff to help the planet, you still got to do some damage with the CO2. And you got to take those cubes and put it on this planet. And the more you build up and try to keep all the CO2 controlled, it still falls apart.
Yeah, because that's the dexterity part where you got to stack it.
You got to stack it.
And then when you knock it over, it's like,
disaster.
And that just shows the fragility of what we're doing.
And just and how you deal with the disaster where, you have the cards where you have to put, a different cubes up and drop them. And if they're close to your country that you're dealing with, you get some issues. And you get some punishment from the disaster, which is, and there's so many like a virus, volcano, flooding. Just all the things that we're dealing with now.
About some of the stuff we're dealing with today. And just it's such a delicate tightrope we're walking. Oh, how do we save the planet and make it better? But then in the process, we're doing things that not going to save the planet.
I know, but the thing is, it's all in this game.
It is.
It's
and it
all
makes
in
you
this game.
think about it.
Yes.
So that's the educational part of it. We learned some things by looking at it. And the board shows the world.
Yes.
And it shows you how the countries interact with each other because they're close to each other. And just when those little carb things fall off, how all the different places in the world can be affected.
Yeah.
And from this one thing. Yeah, fragile.
And and it's cool
fragile
that many of the cards, there's awareness cards on the action cards. They have awareness, and also on the country cards, they tell you about a lot of different issues about like with the country cards, it tells you how much carbon, CO2 and
that particular country produces.
How much CO2 and other things, other details about with the environment that country's doing.
And that's eye opening.
Yeah, and then you also have with the action cards some of the awareness of how things we can do to save the planet.
Yeah.
So it's so educational on this thing.
And it's eye opening. But it really to me, it just makes me think about our planet and what we need to do. We really need to work better and do more to save this planet.
And let me tell you about the components and what they're trying to do. The box is going to be sustainable, and all the components and everything in it are going to be earth friendly.
Yes,
wood,
cardboard,
no plastic bags. It's going to be in cloth bags. I mean, they're trying to do everything to show that hey, designers and publishers can do better with making these games.
This publisher is being forward thinking.
Yes, and then also we get they gave us like they planted a tree for us.
Yes,
which was really interesting.
I thought that was really nice to plant a tree. So that's really nice.
And then another thing with this, they also going to have a card game. It's going to be the card challenge. They're going to have a card game to this too in the Kickstarter. So it's a little bit like
2-in-1.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the main game, but it's a little bit different. So yeah, it's really interesting on that one. So now we told you a little bit about the game and how everything goes. Let's hear about how you can win this game and how it ends. Here we go.
The game can be played in 2 modes. Competitive mode, where you neutralize 5 countries and add the power plants to your victory track. You win the game and the Most Sustainable Player Award. Or cooperative mode. Between all players, neutralize 8 countries and add power plants to the victory track. Everyone wins. The game ends as soon as one of the following occurs. The 5th disaster happens. The climate system collapses and all players lose. Or the 10th year. All players lose if you have not solved the climate crisis in time. So that's it.
That's it.
That's how the game is. It tells you about the winning conditions, if you're competitive or if you're cooperative.
Yes.
And then just what it takes to end the game.
Yes, because if you don't do it, you have 10 turns to end.
10 years.
10 years. 10 years, because every turn is a year. You have 10 years to basically do your thing. Or you lose.
Yeah, if you don't fix the planet in 10 years, the game's over.
Or if you have 5 disasters. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And it's almost talking about how we go.
Yes.
Disasters and stuff. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. We have to do better, family.
Got some real life elements that make you think.
We have to do better. Now, Starla, all right, where can you find OFPG in this social media crazy in this solar powered forum that we're in?
Yes.
Where can you find us? Where can you find OFPG?
Well, in this world, globally, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube,
right here.
But locally, if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, you can find us on Cox Channel 22. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. and Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m.
All right, now family, we want to say again that this is a Kickstarter and we play with a prototype. So definitely research, look into it. Don't take our word for it. Check it out. See if, it's something that suits your fancy. So, check it out now. And remember, let's save this planet because this is all we got, y'all. This is all we got. So, comment, talk to us, and hey, be safe. And always know, family, always know we love you.
Bye. Everybody, bye.